When we released Emobo, it was pretty much, I want to say, within the top 100 right away with the book categories on iTunes, things like that. See, for me, I'm more of a design person. So the coding is the technical component that I shared kind of the duties with another person who was actually way better at coding and did the majority of it. So for me, it was more about designing this idea. My app, it was called Emobo. Still is called Emobo. I sold it to a company a few years ago that liked the idea, the implementation, what I was trying to do, which is basically this idea of taking what's called cell phone novels and making them available to you on your cell phones. So in Japan, this is where the idea originated many years ago. They call it Keitai Shosetsu. And with Keitai Shosetsu, you get chapters sent to your phone of a cell phone book you subscribe to, and whenever the author updates it, you can read it. And it's been a billion-dollar industry, and there's over 1 billion cell phone novels out there. But the Western world didn't have any. So I partnered up with a website company called textnovel.com who gave me their whole library of cell phone novels. But see, their cell phone novels were online, and this was pre everybody's on their phone and iPads days. So this was still a relatively new concept to read stuff on your phone. And using this company, I use that to feed my database. And then when you use my app, of course, you can, it kind of gets smart. Like if you like all horror books, for example, it'll suggest to you all the cell phone novels that are horror books. And then you can read them. It was free. You only paid if you wanted to unlock certain categories and things like that. It was definitely something that, yes, is kind of the space many people want to be in, but the app world got flooded a couple years ago. It's just everybody now does apps. So I got out of that, I think, in the best time, because unless you got a huge amount of entrepreneurial seed funding or capital to sustain yourself through all the development that's necessary for an app to succeed, you won't succeed. And I'm a little guy that just had a small idea of taking Japanese cell phones and transporting them to the Western world, and I was doing it all on my own. So I decided, after spending probably close to $20,000 of my own money, that that was enough. So I just recouped all of that through a sale, thankfully, and kind of stepped away. Happy I've done it, but it was like, again, all your eggs in one basket kind of concept. It was just something I saw as a potential to give me a nice income stream that didn't quite work out the way it did, but it allowed me to put something out there that was creative. So even in that sense, it was still beneficial for me. So a lot of it did go to help in terms of the coding, to pay for my coders' time, because I only could do so much of the coding, and in all honesty, it wasn't really my forte. I'm more of a PC guy, not an app or a Mac guy. But it was mostly marketing, mostly just getting my name out there, press release work, trying to buy, for example, Facebook ads, which seemed like a waste of money now that I think about it in hindsight. You have to have a lot of money to make Facebook ads work. It just a lot of different little things I did. Plus, I also paid myself. So in that sense, it was for my time as well. So that's kind of where all that money went. I guess it hit me because when we released Emobo, it was pretty much, I want to say, within the top 100 right away with the book categories on iTunes, things like that. But then it quickly disappeared, and it made no sense to me because we were getting really consistent downloads. Like, I think we had like 40 or 50,000 downloads, which, considering at that time when that download count was there, I hadn't done as much marketing as I did later. It just kind of made me realize, like, I'm in a very saturated market. Then I was looking at everything else that was around me. And for example, there's another book app called Wattpad, like Wattpad, which actually they're more online. But Wattpad, I couldn't compete with those guys, because they have huge backing. And so I started to realize, like, I'm a very small fish in a very big pond full of very big fish. I can't compete. So then I realized, I just wanted to do this more out of my heart because I just wanted to bring cell phone novels to the Western world. I thought it was cool. When I lived in Japan, I saw so many people reading them. I was like, this is really amazing. But, not every idea is going to just take off like that. And let's be honest, when you can play Candy Crush or what's the chicken game, it's just, no one wants to sit and read novels, or at least back then. Now it's a whole different story. I think my app, if I had released it now, might have been much more successful, but who can say? That's easy to say.